Alright guys, so we're going to start a new lesson today. We're going to do it a little bit different. I'm actually going to do half of the problems of the worksheet for you. And what we're going to talk about is proportional, which is very similar to similar triangles. So let's go ahead and get started. Number one is pretty easy. You'll see why in a second. They're saying that those two triangles are similar. Okay? They are similar. So this one, since they're similar, and 24 is over 40, remember that similar triangles are proportional to each other. So we identify each part, and you're going to notice that, question mark over 40. Hey, what is the question mark? It must be 24. So this right here will be 24. As simple as that. Now that one was a lot easier than the other ones. So let's do a couple more. Number 3. We know that those two are similar because they're telling us that they're similar. If they're similar, that means that they have the same scaling factor. So let's match them with each other. So KR is going to match with BU. Okay, so KR is going to match, and I'm going to put a line like that with this one right here, with BU. So that means that 24 over 6 is going to equal question mark over 5. Okay, one way you can do this though, very easy, is to realize, hey, 6 times what is going to give you 24? Okay, 6 times what? 6 times 4 is going to give you 24. So if I want to find the answer very easily, what I do is 5 times what? 5 times 4 is going to give me 20. So the question mark here should be 20. Now, you could also play this game where you solve it like this. Okay, 5 times 24, you cross multiply, you get 120, and then you do 6x, and then you divide by 6, and then you get x is equal to 20. You can do that as well, or you can just use the logic that I used right there. Okay? Now, this ones, they're also proportional to each other. Okay, we know that 10 times something is going to give me that 20. So I'm going to say 20 over 10 is equal to, we're looking for this question mark right here. I'm going to say x for that question mark over 12. Okay, let's cross multiply. What I mean by cross multiply, you multiply those two together, you get 20 times 12 is 249. I do realize I am doing it a little bit different than I did it on the other lesson, but I think this way works just fine. Divide by 10, and you can see that the answer for this one will be 24. Okay, so guys, I'm doing the problems. All those questions, I'm gonna ask you, when you submit the quiz, I do want you to submit that. Okay, you're gonna submit 24 for 5. You're gonna submit 20 for 3. You're gonna submit 24 for 1. So I'm giving you half of the answers for all of this. So you should at least get 50% in this assignment. There's like no excuse on that. All right, let's talk about this one here. Notice that FG is going to match with FD. Okay, so this one matches with this one. Okay, that means that this one matches with that right there. What do I mean by match? Well, we can put 91 over 26. So we start with 91. Actually, let me start with 26 because I always like the x's to be on top. So 26 over 91, you will still get the same answer, but I just like it this way better. And then x plus 6 over 49. Then we're gonna play that game where we cross multiply. We're gonna do 26 times 49. And this should feel like review because we did this last time. And then we're gonna multiply 91 times x and 91 times 6. So we're gonna get 91x plus, let's see, 91 times 6 is gonna give you 546. Okay, we're going to subtract now. Subtract from 1274. We're gonna get 91x is equal to 728. And then finally, we're going to divide by 91. And your answer should be 8. That's your final answer. Let me verify that for you. Yes, that's correct. 8 is the final answer. Alright, this is what's going to be new for this portion right here. Okay. Here's what you need to know. Very important is that we're going to be studying something called proportional parts. And proportional parts is literally what we have been doing, but it just has a different name to it. Okay, so in here, as you can see, we can see that this right here is parallel to this line right here, and that has some implications. Okay, it means that this, okay, is congruent to this right here. It also means that this is congruent to that right there. So remember that term by angle. Those two triangles are congruent to each other. Okay, so that means they're proportional to each other. So we're gonna use that idea to figure out what this is right here. And it might be a little bit more challenging, but we will get it done. First of all, that question mark right there, instead of question mark, I'm going to replace it with an X, okay, to make it a little bit easier. All right. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna have what we call proportional parts. Let me pull something up here. Okay, so here it is. Okay, so okay, so there is this theorem, and let me actually go back a little bit and talk about that. There's different ways we can do this, but I want to do it in the way that the book does it, just so that you understand it better. When you have a parallel lines like that, this part right here, if this is A and this is B and this is C and this is D, and here is your formula, then because of the parallel lines, this right here is proportional to that right there. What does that mean? That A over B should equal C over D. Okay? That's what the theorem is telling us. Alright, so we break it apart like that. This portion, 8 over B, should equal to C over D. So we're going to use that same idea in here. Okay, same idea into here. So the A in this case is X. The B, we don't know what that is. We have to figure out what it is. But it's not very difficult to understand or to get. This portion right here, okay, if the whole thing from here to there is 98, as you can see there, and this is X, then this portion right here should be 98 minus X. And if this whole thing is 56 and this is 24, then what I'm going to do is subtract 56 minus 24, and that should give you 32. Okay, so let's play with this. And now let's do what we have here. We have X over 98 minus X should equal, okay, I started with X and I have to start with 32 over 24. Okay, this X is this right here. This is that right there. I started with X, that means I have to start with 32 over 24. Then we're going to cross multiply and solve the problem. So when I cross multiply, here's what I'm gonna get. I'm gonna get 24x times, well, 32 times 98 is gonna give you 3,136 minus 32x. Okay, we can add 32 on both sides, 32x, so 32 plus 24 should be 56x is equal to 3136. 3136 divided by 56 should be, oh, you actually get 56 as well. Okay, if that was a little confusing, it will get a lot easier, guys. It will, I guarantee you. So I'll do number 10. I'll do number 21 for 11 again. I'll set up number 10 for you so you understand what to do. But the idea is that you want to do this divided by that is equal to this divided by that. So once again, this we already know. It's 48. But we got to figure out what this is right here. Okay, so that's easy. 72 minus 48 should equal 24. So that's that part right there. Okay, instead of question mark, we're gonna say that this is x. Okay, if the whole thing from here to there is 156, then, and from here to here is x, then this portion right here, and here's how you write it, should be 156 minus x. That should make sense. Okay, it's the blue minus the purple. Okay, so now let's write the proportion. Here's how you write it. It's this 156 minus x over x. Since I started with this one, now I'm going to start with this one right here. 48 over 24. I want you to go ahead and cross multiply and solve that problem. Okay, when you are done, go ahead and submit that. The answer for that one should be 52. Okay, so see if you can get that 52. Now let's move on to number 11. This one is a lot easier. I'm going to replace this one with an x, and this is proportional to that. So x over 65 is equal to, so again, if I start with x, you need to start with 21, the one across that. Okay, so we're going to start with 21 over 35, and let's cross multiply. So we're going to get 35x is equal to 21 times 65, should be 1365. Then I'm going to divide by 35, and I'm going to get x is equal to 39, and that is exactly what the question mark is, because that's what I said it was going to be. The question mark was going to be x. Hopefully this is making a little bit more sense. Let's do another one so you understand it a little bit better. We have this already. We need this portion from here to here. That's very easy to get. All I need is subtract 36 minus 28, and that gives me 8. Okay? If this right here is x, then this will be 45 minus x. Okay? Now let's go ahead and set up the problem. I'm going to start with x over 45 minus x is equal to, okay, if I start with x, I need to start with 8 over 28. Now I'm going to go ahead and cross multiply. So first of all, cross multiply there. 28 times x, we're just going to get 28x is equal to, now we're going to multiply the 8 times all of that. Remember, you're going to multiply 8 times 45. 8 times 45 is going to give you 360. And then 8 times negative x is going to give you negative 8x. We can add 8x on both sides. So 28 plus 8 is going to be 36x. Then go ahead and divide 360 divided by 36. You should get x is equal to 10. That is correct. Number 13 is definitely 10. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one here. Number 15. These ones are a little bit more challenging, and you will see in a second why. If this is 6 and the whole thing is 10, then this will be 4. Okay? Now this right here, what is this? Okay, we need to be able to get that part from here to there. Well, if the whole thing is 2x minus 3, and from here to there is 9, then that little portion should be, watch, 2x minus 3 minus 9. Okay, that's what that portion is. If you simplify that, you will get 2x minus 12. Okay, now let's go ahead and write the proportion. So if I start with this one, oh no, I'm not going to do that one. So If I start with 9, so I'm gonna write 9 over this right here. 2x minus 12 is equal to, I started with 9, so I'm gonna start with the one across it. So 6 over 4. Now I'm gonna go ahead and cross multiply. So 9 times 4 is gonna give you 36. And then I'm going to go ahead and cross multiply as well with 6. It's gonna be 6 times 2 and 6 times negative 12. 6 times 2 is 12x. And then 6 times 12 is negative 72. We are still solving, so 72 plus 36 is 108. It's equal to 12x. Divide by 12, you get x is equal to 9. Let's verify that. Yeah, that's correct. Let's do number 17. Again, you are doing the even problems. Oh, this one is easy. This one is 2x over 4. Kind of wish all of them were like this, right? And the one across it is 15 over 3. Cross multiply, you get 6x is equal to 4 times 15 is 60. That means x is equal to 10. Kind of wish all of them were like that, but then, you know, that wouldn't be fun. Okay, 19 should be pretty easy. You should be able to figure that one very easily. Because of that, I'm going to do number 20. That is a little bit more challenging, but it's actually pretty easy as well. 6 over 9 is equal to 2 over 2x minus 15. Actually, I did that wrong. Let me go back. Although this should actually work, but I don't want to confuse you though. I don't want to, it should work, what I did, but I don't want to confuse you. 6 over 2, if you're not already confused, then it's equal to 9 over this right here, 2x minus 15. Let's go ahead and cross multiply. We're going to multiply 6 times 2. 6 times 2 is 12x, and then 6 times 15. Okay, that should be, let me see, 90. And then 2 times 9, and that should be 18. So we're gonna add 90 on both sides. And then we're gonna go ahead and divide by 12. And you should get x is equal to 9 for number 20. All right, let's talk about number 21. Okay, and this has to do with proportional parts as well. And let me do it like this. Whenever you have and you might want to take some notes on this as well. Whenever you have this angle, it's congruent to angle, that's called a bisector. So whenever you have a angle bisector, just as you see in it there, and this is a term, I just can't remember what the term is called, but it's called the angle bisector theorem. Angle bisector theorem. Let me write it down in case you want to look for it, in case you don't believe me. Uh-oh. Okay, so here's what the angle bisector theorem is. If you have a triangle, this is what it's saying. And that triangle is being intersected by another segment in such way that this angle and this angle are congruent. Okay, and then if this is A and this is B, that's not a B, and this is B, and this is C, and this is D, then here's what happens. Then A is proportional to B, and then D is proportional to C. Okay, so here's my angle bisector theorem. That's what you have to know. Okay, I didn't want to create a whole PowerPoint in order to say that. So let's go ahead and put that into practice. Okay, so let's do this. Angle bisector theorem, let's use it. So first of all, we need to know what this is right here, but that's pretty easy because if that whole thing is 10 and this is 4, then that means this is 6. Okay, so the angle bisector theorem says you can see that this is being intersected like that. So the angle bisector theorem says that 2x over 12 should equal, okay, look at the problem. If I start with A and this is B, okay, then this should be C and this should be D. Then 4 over 6. Those are proportional to each other. So now we cross multiply and then we get 12x is equal to 12 times 4, which is 48. And then of course you're going to divide that 48 divided by 12 and you get x is equal to 4 as your final answer. Let me set up number 22 for you so you can do it. Oh no, 22 is actually harder. This right here, what is that? Well, if the whole thing is 52 and this right here is x plus 10, then this will be 52 minus, and here's where it gets tricky. You do have to put parentheses, x plus 10. Okay? Alright, so let's use the angle bisector theorem. I'll actually finish this one because I did notice it is more difficult than the other ones. So the angle bisector theorem says that 20 over 45 should equal, if I start with 20, guys, here's the point. Don't overthink about the A, the B, and the C, and the D. If you start with 20, then you should start with this one right here, the same triangle. So x plus 10 over, okay, you have to put all of this right here. Let me actually simplify this. This will be 52 minus x minus 10. So the 52 minus 10 should give you 42. So this will be 42 minus x. Let's go ahead and cross multiply now. When you cross multiply, you get 20 times 42. I don't know why my calculator sometimes it's just weird. Wow. Okay, there you go. So we get A40 minus 20x is equal to 45x plus 450. Okay, so I multiply, cross multiply all that out there. So remember the 20, you multiply that by 20 and this by 20, and you multiply this by 45 and this by 45. Let's go ahead and simplify. I'm going to go ahead and add 20x on both sides. That will make this 65x. And I'm going to subtract 450 from both sides. Is 390. So 390 divided by 65 should be 6. Okay, so that's what you should have gotten for number 22. Okay, let's keep going. There's a couple more that we gotta do. I'll do 2 more of those and then I'll let you do the other ones. Okay, so this one here, pretty easy. It's this over this. Should equal to, if I started with this one here, I need to start with this one as well. 9 over 15. That's what the angle bisector theorem says. Then let's go ahead and cross multiply. 15 times 3 is 45x. And then 15 times 6 should be 90. And then 20 times 9 should be 180. Go ahead and add 90 on both sides. You should get 270. And then 270 divided by 45 should be 6. And that should be your answer for number 23. Okay. I'll let you do number 25 since that one is pretty easy. Number 26 looks a little more challenging, so let me actually do that one for you. This one here, the whole thing is 2x minus 12. This means that this portion right here should be, and let me actually do it on the side here. So this portion right here should be 2x minus 12 minus this 2. So 2x, negative 12 plus negative 2 is going to be negative 14. So this portion should be 2x minus 14. So now let's go ahead and set up my proportional. So it's going to be 3 over 6 should equal 2 over 2x minus 14. Let's go ahead and cross multiply. 3 times 2 is 6x. 3 times negative 14. Let me just confirm that. Should be negative 42. And then 2 times 6 should be 12. Go ahead and add 42 on both sides. So 12 plus 42 should be 54. And then divide by 6 and you should get 9 as your final answer. Okay? All right, very good. All right, so now this theorem right here, what we have here is pretty much the same thing, guys. The same thing over again. Okay? Because we have those parallel lines, what that means is that, you know, whenever you have two transversals like this, and you have those parallel lines, and this is A, and this is B, and this is C, and this is D, and then A is proportional to B, and C is proportional to D. Okay? So that's what we have to apply. But honestly, it's very easy. This one always goes with this one on the same line, and this one always goes with that one right there. So on this one here, all we have to know, well, we first have to figure out what this is right here from there to there. That's pretty easy, because if the whole thing is 48, then 48 minus 20 should be 28. Okay, so here's how we set it up. We set it up like this. 5x plus 5 over 49, okay, should equal, if I start with 5x, I need to start with 20. It has to be on the same line right there. Same line. And then over 28. Go ahead and cross multiply. 28 times 5 should be 140. And then 28 times 5 should be 140 as well there. And then we have 49 times 20. Notice I do a lot of this stuff on the calculator. That's fine if you do that as well. So 980 minus 140 is 840. Divided by 140, x should equal 6. Okay? So you use this term right here. In order to do this promise. Okay. I'm going to do number 28, since that one looks a little bit more challenging, and then I'll have you do 29 and 30, and then I'll do 31. Okay, so 28, what's happening here is that the whole thing from here to here is 8x plus 1. So we need to know what this is right here. This part right there. That's important. So that part right there should be 8x plus 1 minus 28. So that portion should be 8x, well, 1 minus 28 should be negative 27. So now we have everything that we need. So first of all, I'm going to set it up this way. This over 28. So 8x minus 27 over 28 should equal, if I start with this one, I need to start with this one now. 18 over 24. Go ahead and cross multiply. So 24 times 8 should be 192. X minus, now we have 24 times 27 should be 648. And then 28 times 18 should be 504. Add 648 on both sides. So 504 plus 648 should be 1152. Divide by 192. And once again, we get 6 as our answer. Okay, so I'll have you do number 29 and number 30. And then, since I did those two, you do the next two. And then number, let's see, 31 and 32. Which one looks... I'll do 31. This one right here should be 3. The whole thing is 5, you know. So the way we set it up is like this. 2x minus 4 over 4 should equal, well, if I started with 2x, I need to start with 3 as well. 3 over 2. Go ahead and cross multiply. We should get 4x minus 8 is equal to 12. Okay, so add 8 on both sides, you get 20. X is equal to 5. That's our final answer there for 31. Okay, I think we're good with those there. I think you can do those now. You can do 30, 32, and 29. All right, now let's go ahead and talk about proportional or similar polygons. Similar polygons are proportional to each other. Okay, and it's actually very easy, guys, very easy. So once again, we're gonna create a proportional and we're gonna do some matching in here. This right here is gonna match with that right there. So I'm gonna put them like this: 5x minus 10 over 24. They are proportional to each other because they're similar. And then 25 and 15. Here's when most people get confused. They write 15 over 25. Why is that wrong? Well, it's wrong because you started with this one and then I did this one. Well, I did 1 and then 2. You see that? Then this should also be 1 and then 2. So if I started with 1, okay, I need to start with 1, so I should need to start with 25 there and then 15. So that is the most common mistake that I see when people are doing this, that they switch the numbers around. But you just have to be consistent and you will be fine with all of these problems. All right, now let's go ahead and cross multiply. We're gonna multiply 15 times 5, which is 75x, minus 150 is equal to, let's multiply 24 and it's 25, that should be 600. And then 600 plus 150 should be 750. Your final answer, as you can see, when you divide, should be 10. Okay? All right, awesome. Okay, same idea with number 35. We're gonna be doing some matching here. This one is gonna match with this one here, and 21 is gonna match with that 14 right there. So we're gonna create some proportions now. Okay. So x is gonna be proportional to a. So once again, I started with x plus 3, so I gotta start with 21 now. 21 over 14. You cannot put 14 over 21, you're gonna get it wrong. Let's go ahead and cross multiply now. You should get 14x plus 14 times 3 should be 42. And then 21 times 8 should be 168. Okay, subtract 42 on both sides. You get 126, and then divide by 14 on both sides. You get x is equal to 9 for that one there. So 35, let me check. Yes, it is 9. Simple problems. Those are easy, guys. You should be getting those very easily. Okay, number 37. Once again, this is proportional to that, and this is proportional to that right there. So it will be x plus 15 over 18 is equal to, if I start with x plus 15, I gotta start with 20 over 15. Go ahead and cross multiply. I should get 15x plus 75, oh no, that's wrong, 15 times 15 should be 225 actually. And then we're gonna multiply 20 times 18, that should give you 360. Go ahead and subtract 360 minus 225 now. And then finally, we're going to divide by 15. And once again, we actually get 9 again. Doesn't mean all the answers are 9. Just be careful with that. Okay, let's talk about 39 through 44. Those look a little bit different. And here's the main difference, that they're telling you what the scale factor is. What do they mean by a scale factor A to B? Well, a scale factor is also a proportion. So we are actually going to be writing another proportion. So A to B are proportional in a ratio of 7/9. In a way, what that means is that if I multiply this by 7/9, I'm gonna get B. Okay, that's what it means. So here's what I need to do. I'm gonna write a proportion just like what we have done before. So the first proportion is gonna be A over B. So x plus 19 over 45. And then A to B. So 7/9 is equal to 7/9. That's all. That's what it means by being proportional. So again, same process. We're gonna multiply, cross multiply 9x plus 19. You're probably getting bored about this cross multiplication already. I am too. 7 times 45 is 315 minus 171 divided by 9. X should equal 16. The same idea for all of this, guys. Same idea. Once again, the scaling factor from A to B is 9 to 10. So that means that A to 10, so A to 10 is like this, 7x plus 6 over 100 is equal to 9 over 10. Cross multiply, you get 70x plus 60 is equal to 900. So 900 minus 60 divided by 70, x should equal to 12. Okay, last problem I'm gonna do for you, number 43. Number 43, same idea. The scaling factor from A to B is 1, 2. So well, be careful with this one. This one is tricky because they actually put the B next to the A. I always go from A to B. So A to B. So this is A and this is B. So A, 3x minus 47 over the B, 20. Cross multiply, you get 20 is equal to 6x minus 94. Yeah. Add 94 on both sides. You get 114 is equal to 6x. Finally, divide by 6 and you get x is equal to 19. Okay? That's your final answer. So as you can see, 43 is 19, 41 is 12, 39 is 16, and so on and so forth. I'll go slowly right there so you can see all the answers. Make sure you submit those, please, on Canvas. So again, you should get at least 50%, and that is if you get the other ones all wrong, which I don't think that's gonna happen because I believe in each one of you, and you should be fine. Okay? Alright guys, so that is it for this lesson and for this day. I'll see you guys later.